At the start of the drama, a prestigious school, ranked among the finest in China, is introduced. This institution boasts two distinct campuses, the North Campus and the South Campus. Students at the North Campus dedicate themselves wholly to academics, whereas those at the South Campus prioritize athletics. At one point, a rivalry between the two campuses emerges. Then, we meet the female protagonist, Keishi, who sets out to gather books from the South Campus. The tale is narrated by another girl, Hong, a student from the North Campus. The scene transitions, and we see Lee talking to a young child, saying, "You can't abandon us like this, you gave us your word." Here we learn about Lee. He's exceptionally strong, always dominates in sports, consistently takes first place, and has earned numerous medals and awards for the school. Yet, he's also quite playful and naughty. Keishi arrives at the classroom to pick up the books, but a boy tells her, "Take a look at the books and leave." Keishi responds, "I'm gathering all these books." Her friend Hong cautions her, steer clear of the four troublesome boys from the South Campus. Keishi soon realizes those boys are holding on to the books. One of them keeps watching her, but she catches him in the act and speaks into her phone, "Yes, I've gathered all the books." Then she departs. The boy hurriedly approaches Lee and says, "A girl from the North Campus just came and took all the books." Lee replies, "How could that happen? Our books are in the radio room." At that moment, one of Lee's buddies begins sharing details about Keishi. He explains, "Keishi is the monitor of Class 2. She excels in her studies, is remarkably smart, and incredibly pretty, which is why she gets tons of love letters, though she turns them all down." As she turns to leave, one of Lee's friends trips her. Lei, noticing this, quickly steps in and saves Keishi. In the commotion, the radio accidentally switches on, broadcasting their entire exchange across the school. Lee's friend teases, "Chief, why were you two hugging?" Lee shushes him and turns to Keishi, saying, "What's with your attitude? You're always second, never first." Keishi fires back, "Why do my grades matter to you? Worry about your fashion sense, you clearly have no clue how to dress." As Keishi walks away, her friend Yu catches up with her and asks, "What were you doing in the radio room?" Startled, Keishi responds, "How do you know I was there?" Yu grins and says, "It's not just me, the whole school knows. Everyone overheard your conversation." Shocked by this, Keishi hurries to her classroom. Meanwhile, Lee's friends approach him and say, "Everything that happened. The entire school heard it through the radio. Now they're all talking about you, saying you're weak." Lee's temper flares at this news. A flashback unfolds, showing Lee as a skilled football player selecting teammates. At that moment, Yu approaches him and says, "I want to play too." Lee smirks and asks, "Do you even know how to run?" Yu admits no. Lee shoots back, "Then go finish your homework, there's no spot for you on this team." Since childhood, Lee has shown in sports, always taking first place, earning everyone's admiration. But Yu consistently topped the class academically, sparking Lee's jealousy. Back in the present, Lee's friends urge him, "We need to do something to gain fame too. Maybe we should hit the books." Lee snaps, "Are you out of your mind? Those nerds are just bookworms who never stop studying. Let them step onto the field once, and you'll see what I'm capable of." In the next scene, students from the North and South campuses gather on the field. Lee's friends rib him, saying, "Why is Keishi staring at you, Lee?" He grins and replies, "Because I'm good looking." The students line up as the coach issues instructions. Lee suggests, "We'll assist the other campus with their stretches." The coach nods in approval, and everyone perks up. Lee intentionally pairs up with Keishi for stretching and teases, "Do it right, you're the leader of the North Campus." Keishi fumes at his words. After the coach steps away, a scuffle breaks out between the North and South Campus kids. Keishi declares, "Let's settle this with a match to prove who's weaker." Everyone agrees, and Keishi joins her team. Lee taunts, "You're too frail, you'll get hurt. Don't play." Keishi fires back, "What, are you afraid of me?" The game kicks off. During the match, a boy slyly pours water on the ground, causing two South Campus players to slip and get eliminated. They accuse the North Campus of cheating, and a brawl erupts. Just then, the coach returns. The next scene shifts to the principal's office. A North Campus teacher questions Lei, "What happened out there?" Lee retorts, "They were provoking us." Keishi counters, "That's not true." The principal orders them to apologize. Later, Lee is shown getting ready for school when he bumps into Yu. It's revealed they're neighbors. They start bickering, but Lee's mom steps outside and says, "You two are best friends." In front of her, they fake a friendly act, masking their rivalry. Then Yu turns to Lee's mom and says, "Auntie, I think you should consider sending Lee to a boarding school. He'd thrive even more there." Lee's mom beams at the suggestion and replies, "You're absolutely right." Annoyed, Lee grumbles, "Enough of this, let's just head to school." They step outside, and soon Yu and Lee are shown pedaling away on their bicycles. After a short distance, Lee snaps, "Why are you trailing me?" Yu retorts, "I've got no interest in shadowing you," and veers off onto a different path, the one Keishi and her brother often take. Yu starts circling outside Keishi's house, waiting for her. Eventually, Keishi emerges with her brother. Spotting Yu, she says, "What a coincidence, running into you again today." Her brother smirks and adds, "I don't get it, how do you always bump into us at this exact time?" Yu stays silent and walks off. Keishi's brother mutters, "Your taste in people is terrible." In the next scene, the principal meets with the teachers and announces, "Due to some construction work on the North Campus for a few days, we'll need to combine the North and South campuses." A teacher then enters the classroom and declares, "Both campuses will now study together." The students gasp in disbelief. Keishi stands up and protests, "Teacher, I'm totally against this. It's impossible, the two campuses are worlds apart. How can we coexist with them?" The teacher soothes the class, saying, "The school's decision is final, and we shouldn't oppose it. I expect you all to make the best of it." Then, the teacher lists the 4 South Campus students joining their class, Lee and his 3 friends. The North Campus students are rattled by this news. Meanwhile, Lee and his crew are equally uneasy. They mutter to each other, "How can we blend with them? We're nothing alike. We can't turn into slackers like them." Lee clenches his jaw and says, "We've got to act. We need to show them who's in charge, or they'll drag us down and we'll end up weak like them." Later, Lee and his friends head to a convenience store and rig a prank by shaking soda bottles. Soon after, Keishi and her friends arrive. When Keishi opens a bottle, the drink explodes all over her. Lee and his pals burst into laughter. Furious, Keishi glares at them and snaps, "I won't let this slide today." Hong steps in, calming her down and holding her back. Their friend Han whispers to Yu, "I can't stand those South Campus kids, I despise them." Next, Lee and his friends are seen returning from the field, tossing their clothes aside before heading to shower. Han sneaks in, swipes their clothes and bolts. When Lee and his crew finish showering, they discover their stuff is gone. Realizing it's been stolen, they dash after Han. The scene shifts to the field, where Lee and his friends chase him down. Just then, the principal arrives and scolds them, "Have you no shame? What are you doing, running around the field like this?" A crowd gathers, including Keishi and Hong. Hong gazes at Lee and sighs, "He's so good looking." Keishi rolls her eyes and says, "You can't see the board in class, but out here you see everything," then shuts her eyes. Later, Lee and his friends regroup. One of them says, "We need to get back at them." Lee nods, "I know you's their leader, and I won't let them off easy." He instructs a friend, "Go to Keishi's class and put glue on Yu's chair." The friend sneaks in and spreads the glue. When the class returns, Keishi sits down only to find herself stuck. Hong tries to help, but she can't budge. Lee and his friends watch in shock. They'd meant the glue for Yu's seat. Lee fumes at the mix-up, glaring at the friend who botched it. Meanwhile, the whole class stares at Keishi. She and Hong slip away to another room, where Keishi cuts her skirt free with scissors. Hong frets, "You can't go out like that." Just then, the nurse hands Keishi a bag with a fresh uniform. Keishi smiles, "You're so considerate for sending this." She changes and steps out, ready to face the day. Lee arrives at the scene, and Keishi fixes him with a furious stare. Lee offers an apology, but Keishi brushes it aside and begins to walk away. Lee calls out, "You can't keep dodging me like this." Keishi snaps, "Keep your distance from me from now on." In the next scene, Lee steps into the classroom and learns they've been given front row seats. Annoyed, he mutters, "We're not sitting up front." Keishi replies coolly, "I set this up." Lee shoots back, "I don't care, I'm not sitting there." At that moment, the teacher and coach enter. In the following scene, the teacher takes charge and reassigns everyone's seats herself. Later, Keishi is seen heading home when she spots a charming dress in a shop window, lovely but far too costly. The next day in class, Lei and his buddies are immersed in video games. Keishi and Yu walk in with the teacher, who announces your new semester has begun. We won't tackle a fresh curriculum yet, instead we'll review last term's material. As she begins the lesson, the studious kids focus intently, while the athletic ones grow restless. Some polish their sneakers, others toy with Keishi's chair. One of Lee's pals, overcome with drowsiness, sprawls out, slipping a bizarre mask over his face to nap. Lee and his crew snicker at the sight. The teacher marches over, pulls off the mask, and reprimands him, "Have you no shame? I'm putting in all this effort to teach, and you're napping. Is this what your coach trained you for?" Lee's friend shakes his head. The teacher scolds him sharply, "Don't let this happen again, or I'll discipline you," before leaving. Meanwhile, Han seethes over Lee and his friend's grimy sneakers. After class, the teacher instructs Keishi, "Go fetch some papers from my office. They're heavy, so take Lee with you." Keishi stands and asks, "Lee, will you come?" He stays silent. Yu offers, "I'll go with you," but Lee interjects, "No need, I'll go." Outside, Lee teases, "Why so uptight all the time? Loosen up a bit." Keishi retorts, "I'm not speaking to you, so don't pester me or meddle in my affairs." Lee grins. After she's gone, Lee smirks. One of Lee's friends replies, "What's the problem? Can't we laugh?" Sneakers. She snatches their shoes and tosses them into the trash. Meanwhile, Keishi struggles alone with the stack of papers, hauling them toward the classroom. Lee approaches, lifts the load from her arms, and says, "I'm not that conceited. A gentleman always lends a hand to a lace." Keishi, caught off guard, glances at him with a surprised smile. They enter the classroom together and find the students clustered around the trash can. Lee strides over to his friends and demands, "Who chucked our sneakers in there?" One of them, "Girl, she did it." Lee's temper flares, he grabs Han by the collar. One of Lee's buddies taunts, "How'd you like it if we trashed yours with them?" Lee and his crew pass their shoes to her. Later, the students head to the field for PE. Keishi walks with her friend and Yu when a sharp stomachache strikes. Her friend says, "You don't look, go rest." There. Lee snaps, "If you've got a problem with us, just say it, why resort to games?" One of Lee's friends mutters something in his ear, and they storm out. Keishi confronts Han, "If you pull anything like this again, I'll report you to the teacher." Lee and his crew score the school for their sneakers. Meanwhile, Keishi heads toward the South Campus. Yu catches up, asking, "Where are you off to?" She and Yu hurry off to search. While rummaging around, Keishi scrapes her hand but shrugs it off and keeps looking, demanding, "Tell us where you hid our sneakers." Just then, Keishi and Yu show up, announcing, Han tucked them away in the South Campus. Lee's face lights up at the sight of the sneakers. He thanks Keishi and Yu, then turns to Keishi with an apology. As a consequence, Keishi orders Han clean their sneakers. That evening, Lee sits with his friends over dinner, chatting about Keishi. He muses, "Is our class monitor actually that kind? She backed us up in front of everyone today. What do you guys reckon?" One friend nods, "Yeah, she seems pretty cool." Another chimes in, "Something's off, why are you hyping her up so much?" Lee shrugs, "Nothing. Hold on, I forgot something important, I'll be right back." A little boy nearby pipes up, "Yeah, something's huh?" He snatches the kid's ice cream, takes a bite, and says, "Don't eat too much of this," before strolling off. The next morning, Keishi arrives at school with her brother. Lee's there too, and notices them together again, a knot of unease tightening in his chest. After Keishi heads inside, a girl approaches her brother, handing him a love letter. "This is for you, please read it. Even if you turn it down later," she says. Lee watches and grumbles. So he's a flirt, juggling a bunch of girls. But her brother hands the letter back, saying, "We're still young, let's focus on school," and walks away. Later, Lee stands outside the classroom, shooting Keishi a heated glare. He steps in, sits, but can't Keishi with exercises until Lee barges in, staring in shock. Keishi snaps, "What's your deal?" Coming to his senses, Lee fumbles, "I meant you're doing the exercise wrong." Keishi retorts, "Did you have to yell over something so trivial?" Then she collapses. In the next scene, Lee and Yu hover over Keishi, bickering. Yu insists, "You should go, I'll look after her." As they squabble, Keishi stirs and murmurs, "I think I should head out." After Yu leaves, Lee tends to her, swapping out her bandage and fetching a bottle of brown sugar water. "Drink this, it'll perk you up," he says. Keishi asks, "How'd you know about this?" Lee replies, "My dad used to give it to my mom when she wasn't feeling well." Lee offers Kaishi a quiet apology, then adds, "That guy you're seeing. He's no good, he's messing around with someone else too." Kaishi tries to clarify, "The guy with me is my brother." Brother rushes in and asks, "Kaishi, you okay?" Jaw drop. Kaishi and Lee head to class. Lee grins, "Your brother's pretty good looking." Kaishi, stunned, replies, "First you were trashing him, now you're complimenting him?" Lee shrugs. "That was then, this is now." Through the classroom window, he calls out to Kaishi for a code, leaving the whole class gaping in shock. Lee's friends sidle up and mutter, "You're getting way too involved in her life." Lee snaps, "Zip it." Then he strolls over to Kaishi and asks, "Bookstore trip?" She agrees with a yatham. Later, Kaishi and her friend are in the library. Her friend hands her a horror novel, saying, "Check this out, it's great." "Me got you down?" "Pretty bold, especially since you pulled that on a girl before." Over with Kaishi, she tells Hong, "I'm not into this book." Her friend teases, "What's stopping you?" "Too busy texting." Kaishi frowns, "What's that supposed to mean?" Her friend presses, "Why'd you give Lee your ID?" Kaishi insists, "I didn't give him anything." On Lee's end, he vents to his friend, "Why wouldn't she share her ID with me?" His pale smirks, "I can dig up dirt on Kaishi for you. I'm a pro at this." He chats up Hong, gleaning all sorts of details about Kaishi, and beams with pride. That night, he calls Lee boss, mission accomplished. Lee muses, "Now I get it she went with you, because she's obsessed with books." In the next scene, Kaishi and Yu hit the library. She asks the owner, "Has the book we ordered come in?" Lee strolls up, holding it, and says, "Wow, this book's awesome. I grabbed it since you didn't pay and trust me, it's a good one. Next copy's here in 15 days. Yu cuts in, we'll order it ourselves, and makes a call. After hanging up, he assures Kaishi, "No worries, I sorted it. We'll have it soon." Lee says, "You can read this one," but Kaishi turns and walks away. Afterward, the bookstore owner approaches Lee and asks, "Can I sell this book to someone else now?" Lee snaps, "No way." Meanwhile, Kaishi thanks Yu for the books. Yu smiles, "Your hair's gotten long, you look really cute. Don't cut it." Kaishi replies, "Okay, I won't." Just then, her phone pings with a message from her teacher, "Come to my office." She heads over, and the teacher explains, "Since the North and South campuses merged, the head's been keeping tabs on us. They want to see if both groups are studying well, so I've made project pairs. You're with Lei." Kaishi checks the list and protests, "Teacher, I can't work with Lei." The teacher counters, "He's top-notch in sports, and you're stellar in academics, that's why you're teamed up." Kaishi spills everything to Hong, who suggests a plan. The next day, in the chemistry lab, Kaishi quizzes Lei with a tough question he can't answer. She smirks, "Get out of my group." Lee bristles, "What do you take me for? I'll crack this and show you, just watch." At that moment, the teacher summons Kaishi, "Go grab some supplies from the storeroom." Kaishi winks at Hong, then steps outside and tells Lei, "I need stuff from the storeroom, come with me." Lee's caught off guard but agrees. Inside, the room's pitch black. Lee tenses up as darkness closes in. A spider dangles overhead, and he freaks out, shielding himself and Kaishi. Then a ghost appears, it's Hong in disguise. Lee snaps, "What's this nonsense?" Kaishi admits, "It was our scheme. You're awful at studying, and I can't let my grades tank because of you." Lee fumes, "What do you think I am? I'm the leader of my crew, watch me prove who I really am." In the next scene, they're back in the classroom. Lei rattles off an equation from memory, leaving Kaishi stunned and impressed. She hands him her WeChat ID, saying, "Add me." Lei's floored, and his friends gawk in disbelief. He sends her a request, and when it's accepted, Hong teases, "You wouldn't share your ID before, why take his now?" Kaishi explains, "We're in the same group. I have to help him study, or my marks might suffer." Later, Lee's sprawled on his bed, typing a message to Kaishi but erasing it. Then his phone buzzes. Kaishi sent a simple hi. Grinning, he replies, "Hi." The scene cuts to Kaishi, gazing at a photo of her childhood friend, wondering, what does he look like now? Where is he? How's he doing? Meanwhile, Lee shovels food into his mouth at home. His parents ask, why the rush? Lee answers, "I've got to study." Kaishi sends him a photo of a book with a note. "You need to read this, it'll help you a ton." Lee's eyes light up with excitement. In the next scene, he's eating dinner with his parents. His mom asks, "Who texted you? Why are you so jittery?" Lee brushes it off, "It's nothing." She presses, "Why were you scarfing down your food?" He replies, "My class monitor sent me some notes I don't want to miss out." His parents beam with delight. The following day, Keishi and Lee are in the chemistry lab, running an experiment. Lee says, "This book's pretty cool." Keishi responds, "Thank you, he's the one who gave it to me." Yu chimes in, "Hope it helps." Then Lee accidentally ignites the wrong chemical, sparking a fire. Everyone pitches in to escape, but Keishi collapses. Lee searches frantically, unable to find her, and rushes back into the lab to pull her out. When she comes to and notices Lee's injury, she bandages him up and says, "I used to think poorly of you, but seeing you help everyone today changed my mind." Lee admits, "I thought the same about you." They share a smile, their friendship sealed. Back in the classroom, the teacher checks on everyone. The principal arrives, lays out safety rules, and adds, "I'm proud of how you all supported each other today." The room erupts in applause. Later, Keishi twists her ankle. Yu steps in to help, and Lee's jaw tightens with displeasure. Then Keishi's brother shows up and takes her home. The next day, while shopping, Hong remarks, "You've changed. You used to be snappy, but now you're always smiling." Keishi shrugs, "It's not like that." Soon after, Keishi asks her brother, "Where are you off to?" He replies, "Group study." A friend arrives saying, "I need your card for some books," so Keishi hands it over. The next day, the teacher calls on Lee to read aloud, but he stumbles, and the class snickers. Prompted by the teacher, Yu reads flawlessly and says, "It's not that hard." After class, Keishi asks the girl for her card back. The girl mumbles it might have fallen in the trash, so Keishi heads to check. Yu tags along, saying, "It's not a big deal." Keishi insists, "It matters to me, Lee gave it to me." Just then, Lee walks up, spotting them together, a flicker of jealousy burning in his chest. Lee asks Keishi, "What are you doing here?" She replies, "I'm looking for the card you gave me." Lee frowns, "You lost it?" Keishi explains, "I lent it to someone." Lee snaps, "How could you do that?" He lectures her sternly, then pulls her away. After they're gone, Yu spots the bag with the card, pockets it, and leaves. Meanwhile, Keishi yanks Lee's hair, forcing him to release her. She says, "I only went there to find the card, and you just came to help." Lee asks, "Is that true?" She nods, yes. Convinced, Lee lets it go, and Keishi heads home. The next day, Keishi tells her friend, "I know you didn't mean to lose it, but if you borrow something, take care of it." Her friend apologizes and walks off. Then Yu approaches, handing Keishi the card. She lights up, thanking him. Lei, watching from afar, simmers with jealousy. He slides into the seat behind her, taps her head, and asks, "What were you saying to Yu?" Keishi replies, "He was giving me my card back." Their exchange escalates into an argument, and Lee tugs her chair back. Just then, the principal strides in and announces, "Tomorrow you're all getting punished. Sports students will write out the chemistry lab rules, and academic students will join in sports." The class reels in disbelief. Later, Lee practices his pronunciation, reciting the alphabet, when his rival Hei saunters up, declaring, "This time, I'll beat you." They make a bet, setting a penalty for the loser. After Hei leaves, Lee's friend asks, "Can you win?" Lee vows, "I'll keep my word." The next day, the sports event kicks off, buzzing with excitement. But a teammate betrays Lee's squad, vanishing right before the race. Lee learns a girl's missing, so Keishi steps in to fill the spot. She stumbles mid-race, and Lee rushes to help. Keishi urges, "Go finish the race." Lee dashes off but can't clinch the win, leaving him crushed. In the next scene, Keishi and Hong visit the clinic and spot their classmate. Fuming, they say, "You should have at least told us." The girl offers a tearful apology to the class. Lei adds, "You could have let us know sooner, we're teammates after all." Hearing this, she breaks down sobbing. In the next scene, Keishi is chatting in her group when someone posts a photo of her and Lee, captioning it, "They look so perfect together." Lee catches sight of it and buzzes with excitement while Yu's face falls, a wave of sadness washing over him. The following day at school, students dash off somewhere. Keishi asks, "Where's everyone headed?" A classmate shrugs, "No idea," and they follow the crowd. They find Lee in a tortoise costume as penalty for losing the bet. People snap photos and tease him, but his friends soon join him, standing loyally by his side for group pics. A grins, "I'm proud of you all." Hong arrives, whisking him to the canteen where everyone's brought food, cheering, "We've got your back, you're our class's pride." Lee's spirits lift. Then the students pile food in front of Hei, leaving him red-faced and flustered. Later, Hong tells Kaishi, "Your pic with Lee's blowing up tons of comments, everyone's buzzing about you too." Lee strolls up and they head to dinner. Keishi can't stop smiling, prompting Lee to ask, "Why the grin?" She replies, "Thanks for ditching the race to help me." Lee says softly, "You matter to me." Kaishi cuts in, "Enough talk, let's order." The next day, exams wrap up and Keishi hands out mark sheets before leaving. Lee checks his and slumps his friend scored 92, boasting, "I just stuck to the basics." At home, Lee shows his parents Chan's mark sheet instead of his own. They glow with pride until he admits, "This isn't mine," revealing his lower score. They freak out and Lee mutters, "I'm a sports guy," before storming off, deflated. The next day, he plots to cheat, but Kaishi thwarts him. Lee pleads, "I really want to pass." She turns to Yu, "We should help him, he's serious about studying." Yu agrees, "I'm in." Meanwhile, Hei tells Lei, "A new coach is at the neighboring campus today, let's check it out." Just then, Keishi texts, "Come study on time." Lee nods. They sneak over to watch the coach's training, awestruck, until the coach spots them and joins in. On the flip side, Keishi's been waiting ages, fuming. Lei, oblivious, asks his friend, "What time is it?" They reply, "Class is probably over." The coach scolds, "Did you skip class for this? Go back." The four hustle off. When Lee arrives, Kaishi barely speaks to him. As she leaves after class, he grabs her bag, asking, "What's wrong?" She's too mad to answer and walks out. Hong asks her, "Why are you upset?" Keishi snaps, "I'm not upset at all." Lee turns to Yu, "Why's she mad at me?" Yu replies, "Figure it out yourself." At home, Lee drafts a message to her but scraps it, while Keishi wrestles with her own unease. The next day, Lee waits for Kaishi in class. When she arrives, he says, "Help me with this problem." She stays silent. Lee apologizes for the day before, and Keishi retorts, "You skipped class, sports mean more to you." He explains, "I wasn't playing, I went to see the new coach." She softens, believing him, and starts tutoring him. Later, as she and Yu teach the class, Lei asks, "How'd I do?" Keishi replies, "Solid, if you keep this up, you'll pass." He suggests dinner tonight. She says, "I'm hitting the library," and Lee nods, "Next time, then." While Yu and Keishi study and chat, Lee's friend Chan advises, "Ignore her, she'll get attached." Lee starts giving Keishi the cold shoulder. On the field, he barks orders, telling her, "Push harder." Yu questions, "Why are you snapping at her?" Lee deflects, "Yu, show them the stretches." Hong asks Chan, "Why's your buddy acting so harsh?" Chan spills the plan. Hong relays it to Keishi, warning he's playing Yu. Kaishi smirks, "I'm sharper than he thinks." When Lee shows her his homework, she ignores him. Done. He glances at Chan. The principal calls them to his office, where he's already getting chewed out. Lee realizes who's behind the mess. In the next scene, Lee offers Keishi an apology for her support and asks, "Where'd you find the proof that cleared us?" She lays out the details for him. Later, Kaishi scrolls through Lee's photos, liking them, which sends a thrill through Lee. He beams, "I've got a basketball match tomorrow, be there, no excuses this time." Keishi nods, "I'll come." The next day, as the team trains, Keishi shows up and asks, "Lei, will you teach me basketball?" He jumps at the chance, and they enjoy a fun, easygoing session together. Afterward, they head out, and a striking figure steps from a car. Keishi murmurs, "That might be Jinxie." Lei raises an eyebrow. "Who's he?" She replies, "Hong's obsessed with him, she's a huge fan." Meanwhile, Jinxie tells the director, "I'm here to track down my childhood friend." Elsewhere, Kaishi works on homework. A flashback flickering in her mind, her birthday party with a friend, interrupted by a sudden fire. Shaken, she whispers, "Why do I miss my friend so much today?" At school, Jinxie's name buzzes through the halls. He strides in, announcing, "No introduction needed, but I'll give you my name anyway." Spotting Kaishi, he adds, "Your seat's in the back." After class, girls swarm him for autographs, leaving Lee and Keishi stunned. As Keishi steps outside, Jinxie approaches, but fans mob him. He grabs her hand, pulling her away. Yu and Lee watch, irritation flaring. Jinxie and Keishi duck into a room. He covers her mouth to hush her. She glares, yanking his hand away, and demands, "Why'd you drag me here?" Jinxie smiles, recounting their childhood memories. Keishi blinks, "Are you saying you're my childhood friend?" He hands her a candy, her eyes light up. "I can't believe you're standing right here," she exclaims. They spend hours catching up. Meanwhile, Lee waits for Kachi. When she arrives, he asks, "Where were you?" She answers, "With Jinxie, he's my childhood friend." Lei and his crew flip through Jinxie's pics, muttering, "He's a famous actor." Lee stalks off. Hong, meanwhile, snags Jinxie's autograph until Chan tugs her away. Later, Lee corners Chan, "What's going on?" Chan replies, "Everyone's nuts for Jinxie, they're all after his signature." Meanwhile, Kaishi chats with Yu, who asks about Jinxie. She fills him in on everything. On the other side, Lei heads to grab drinks and spots a throng of girls. He's taken aback, then sees Jinxie and Kaishi stroll into the canteen. Jinxie signs autographs for the crowd, politely asking them to clear out before sitting beside Kaishi. Lee's temper flares, and he storms off without eating. Elsewhere, Yu digs up more details from Kaishi's brother. In class, everyone's studying, but Hong can't stop sneaking glances at Jinxie. The principal marches in, addressing him sternly. "You need to wear the school uniform here and no wandering around holding the class monitor's hand." Lee smirks, thrilled to see Jinxie reprimanded. The principal turns to Kaishi, "You should be more cautious." She shoots Lei an annoyed glare as he slips out, mumbling about a match. Later, Lee corners Yu, "We've got to team up, or Jinx will outshine us." Yu resists, "I'm not working with you." Lee presses, "Do you want Kaishi glued to Jinxie all the time?" Yu relents, "Fine, I'm in, but you follow my lead." On the court, Lee practices basketball while Kaishi and Jinxie watch. Lee challenges Jinxie to a game and trounces him soundly. Afterward, Yu hands Jinxie some notes, saying, "These'll help with your exam." Kaishi arrives, telling Jinxie, "I'm heading home." He offers, "Wait, I'll drop you." But Lee and Yu intercept, insisting, "We need to go over these notes with you, important stuff." The next day, Kaishi asks Lei, "Will you help Jinxie?" He flat out refuses. Yu steps in, "I'll help." Lee snaps, "Are you nuts?" Kaishi explains, "I need your help with Jinxie's fitness and use for exams." Both grudgingly agree. Later, Lee hears about a school event tomorrow, no uniforms required. He asks Chan, "What should I wear?" Chan suggests, "Match Kaishi's outfit." Lee calls her brother, who says she's wearing a blue jacket and jeans. Lee does the same. At Jinxie's place, Lee and Yu relentlessly tease him, pushing Jinxie's patience to the brink. He's visibly furious. Jinxie turns to Kaishi, frustrated, "I don't need their help." Kaishi counters, "They're here for you, you've got an audition, so practice your lines." Jinxie fumbles, unable to recall a single word. Yu steps in, reciting the entire script flawlessly, leaving Jinxie stunned. Yu offers, "I'll help you out." In the next scene, Yu and Lee coach Jinxie, pushing him to build his strength. Their efforts pay off. Jinxie's stamina shows slight improvement. As everyone heads home, Kaishi points out, "Your house is that way?" Lei and Yu shrug, "We forgot." She smirks, "Don't lie," and walks off to her place. Meanwhile, Jinxie and Kaishi are working when a knock interrupts them. It's Jinxie's agent. Kaishi says, "Open the door," but Jinxie refuses. The agent leaves and Jinxie breathes easier. Another knock follows, and this time Kaishi answers. Lee and Yu stand there, diving in to help Jinxie refine his skills late into the night. The next day, results drop. Lee's aced English and is over the moon. Jinxie shows Kaishi his scores, and she beams. "These are great." He invites her to dinner, and Lee and Yu chime in, "We're coming too." The following day, they're all eating pizza, only to discover it's gone bad. Jinxie and Kaishi land in the hospital. Lei stays with Kaishi, while Jinxie's agent tends to him. They chat for hours. Later, the agent gathers Lei, Yu, and Kaishi, saying, "I'm glad Jinxie has friends like you." Lee and Yu visit Jinxie, catching a nurse giving him a shot. Both grin at the sight. In the next scene, they're with Jinxie again. He accuses, "You're only helping me to stick close to Kaishi." Lee retorts, "What's your point? Spit it out." Jinxie declares, "I really like her." Yu counters, "So do I." Lee ups the ante, "Well, I love her." Jinxie argues, "I'm her childhood friend." Yu adds, "I'm her classmate, I've always helped her study." Lee smirks, "That's nothing, I've hugged her." Furious, Yu and Jinxie start pummeling him. Lee groans, "I'm not in the mood to fight." Just then, Kaishi walks in, and the three instantly shift gears, acting sweet and checking on each other's well-being. Later, Yu's mom grills him, "Why are you home so late?" He replies, "I was with friends." She snaps, "I want you to be a lawyer, this is serious. Stop wasting time with friends." Yu fires back, "I want to live my life my way." Yu, rattled by his mother's pressure, forges her signature on his exam sheet. In the next scene, the teacher hands out university application forms, stressing, "These are crucial for your future." Kaishi and Hong discuss their college plans. Chan turns to Lei, "Which university are you aiming for?" Lee stays quiet. Chan presses, "You promised we'd go to the same one, don't back out now." Lee reassures him, "Relax, I won't let you down." Meanwhile, Yu stares at the form, a knot of unease tightening in his chest. Jinxie, freshly discharged from the hospital, returns home. Lei, Yu, and Keishi drop by to check on him. Yu says, "I brought notes for you, they'll help with studying." Jinxie asks Keishi, "Which university are you thinking of?" She replies, "I'm leaning toward my university." Yu shrugs, "I haven't decided yet." Jinxie turns to Lei, who says, "I haven't thought it through, but probably a sports school." Later, the trio awaits their results when Jinxie joins them. They ask, "How'd your audition go?" He grins, "It went well." They press for more, and he admits, "It was great, but I didn't make the cut, too many actors, fierce competition." Lee comforts him, "Don't dwell on it. Let's look ahead, exams are next week. The four of us should team up, study hard, and ace them." They all agree to group study, spirits lifted. In the next scene, Jinxie faces Miss Hua, who's furious about his audition flop. He protests, "I don't even like acting, I want to be a musician." She snaps, "Prove you're serious about studies, then hit 60% on your exams." Jinxie vows, "I'll work hard this time." Soon after, he tells Keishi, "I'm taking 2 weeks off school," shocking the trio. He adds, "I'm starting music classes, it's my passion." They nod in support. Meanwhile, the coach and teacher review Lee's application, surprised by his choices. They question him, but Yu and Lee talk them around, smoothing things over. Chan, visibly upset, confronts Lei, "Chief, you're breaking your promise." He storms off. Later, Yu's mother discovers he forged her signature on the form. Furious, she refuses to hear him out. Yu, fed up, leaves home and heads to Jinxie's place. In the next scene, Lei, Keishi, and Jinxie are on a video call. Lee says Yu's mom wants to switch him to another school. Keishi and Jinxie reel in shock. Keishi adds, "Our exam's tomorrow, plus there's a huge programming competition." Lee urges, "We've got to team up to stop her." The next day, exams unfold as Yu's mother arrives at school. Lei, Keishi, and Jinxie spot her. Lee instructs, "I'm taking Yu to the competition. You two convince his mom to stay back." Keishi and Jinxie approach her, pleading their case. Just then, their class teacher steps in, telling her, this is a critical time for him. Transferring him now would hurt his studies. Meanwhile, Lee rushes Yu to the competition. Keishi appeals to Yu's mom. "He loves coding, you should support him. Come see him compete." The programming event kicks off and Yu shines. Keishi brings his mother to watch, but when Yu spots her, she turns and walks away, leaving him deflated. Later, Yu's mother warns him, "You got your competition this time, but pull anything like this again, and I'm transferring you." The next day, Yu's distracted at school. The teacher announces, "Exam results are online, check them." She pulls Yu aside, "Meet me in the staff room." "There," she says, "your papers were weak, you got second, not first. You're into coding, but you've got to focus on academics." Yu nods, takes it in, thanks her, and leaves. His friends ask what happened, and he explains, "Miss Yu called me about my results." Yu congratulates Keishi, "You snagged first place." He adds, "I got second this time." Keishi's eyes widen in surprise. Lee chimes in, "Tomorrow's our spring holiday, let's all go shopping." The group buzzes with excitement. The next day they hit the stores, soaking in the fun. At a cafe, Lee says, "I'll have whatever Keishi orders," drawing curious glances. As Keishi places the order, Yu pulls her aside, "I made it to the coding competition finals." She beams, "That's amazing, good luck." Meanwhile, Han's scheming with someone, plotting something big to be revealed later. During basketball training, the coach gives Lei and his crew a 5-minute break. Hong texts Chan, "Jinxie and I are at Keishi's, she's tutoring him." Chan shows Lei, who bolts home, telling his parents, "I'm off to a friend's for group study." Outside, Yu asks, "Where you headed?" Lee lies, "Out to eat with friends." Yu smirks, "You're studying." At Keishi's, Lee ribs Jinxie endlessly. When hunger strikes, they eat, then head home. Lee and Jinxie cook, and Keishi raves, Lee's food is delicious. Jinxie sulks, Lee grins. The next morning, reporters swarm Keishi's house. She checks social media, a viral photo of her and Jinxie has her reeling. Jinxie calls, "Stay inside." Lee arrives, whisking them to his place to investigate. They pin it on Han. Jinxie's agent chews him out elsewhere. Keishi gets a call from Jinxie's manager, he's coming over. The trio heads back, only to be ambushed by reporters, leaving them banged up. Lee tends to Keishi, warming her heart. She says, "It's late, let's sleep." Lee tries her room, but she directs my brother's room, not mine. Inside, Lee and her brother insist, "Where your bodyguards will sleep here." Keishi boots them out, locking the door. Lee tells her brother, "We'll guard her from out here." Jinxie goes live, apologizing for the chaos. Lee muses, "An actor's life is rough." Yu calls, "It's not just Han, someone else is involved." They confront the mystery figure, threatening legal action. Jinxie scolds Han, who apologizes. Han's parents berate him, "We're transferring you," and he breaks down crying. Later, Keishi cooks, shocking everyone. She offers eat. They demur, not hungry. She tries it, grimaces, "This is awful," and they order takeout. The teacher warns, 6 months to intercol exams, buckle down. That night, Lee visits Keishi while she studies. They hit a park where a surprise lifts her spirits. Jinxie's concert follows, he invites everyone, but Yu's mom forbids him, leaving him glum. At the show, Jinxie dedicates a romantic song to Keishi. Lee arrives late, asking, "Where were you with Jinxie?" She reveals he's leaving abroad. Stunned, Lee takes her home, pleading, "Promise you won't leave me," then bids farewell. They visit Jinxie before he departs. During exercise, Hong sighs, "I'll miss him." Keishi feels dizzy, carries her off. She wakes asking, "How'd I get here?" Hong explains. Lei checks on her, "Send me pics of your food, you're too weak." She does that night. Next, Lee lures her out, and despite her "I don't want to," she's thrilled, dressing up fast. He can't stop staring, complimenting her. They dine, game, and watch a horror flick. Lee's the one spooked. Yu visits for Lee's birthday, but his mom says he's at school. Yu's baffled. Lei and Keishi train together, then Yu finds them cozy in a room, storming off hurt. Lee drops Keishi home, inviting her to his match. His family celebrates his birthday, but when he offers Yu cake, Yu slams the door, "I don't want it." Lee's confused. Next day he suggests dinner, Keishi opts to study. Yu ignores him too. It's her dad's birthday, she misses him, and Lee, tipped off by Yu, feels her pain. Keishi sees a doctor. "I'm not hungry, my dad had blood cancer." He advises a checkup, she's shaken. In the library, Yu helps her grab a cancer book, urging her to get tested. Lee drives her home, noting, "I came to get you, but you left with Yu." She says, "I'll explain later." Yu tells her, "Tell your mom." She breaks down, then confesses to her mother, who insists on a doctor visit. Lee texts about his match, she replies, "Can't come." He's crushed. Her mom cooks her favorites for the doctor trip, while Lee races, falls, and injures his leg. Chan tells Hong but swears her to secrecy. Keishi wants to go, but Hong stops her. At her checkup, the doctor suggests therapy. Yu sends notes, she's grateful. Yu's dad warns him off Lee to focus on studies. Keishi, moping, hears her brother say, "If you miss Lei, go to him." She heads to his race but faints. Lei, distracted by her loses, Yu takes her to the hospital. Lee's parents assume he won, but he admits, "I lost," retreating to his room. Watching the race video, Keishi's upset. Hong says, "He'd have won if you were there." Her brother reveals she fainted en route. Yu shifts focus to exams. Yu's parents push Law over coding, threatening a transfer, sinking his mood. Keishi's nervous test results are tomorrow. Lee's dad inspires him, "True champions win after losing." He races again. Yu brings Keishi home. Lee arrives saying, "I'll stand by you, tell me everything." She stops him, spilling her fears. He chides her brother, "You should have told me," then reassures her, "No more secrets." She blames herself for his loss, he comforts her. She and Yu explore tech, thrilled, while the hospital confirms she's cancer-free. Relief washes over all. They celebrate at dinner, but Yu skips it, dodging her messages over his mom's transfer threat. Yu's last day at school arrives. Keishi rallies everyone to intervene. The teacher pleads, "He's talented, don't move him." Yu resists his parents, "I'm staying." They relent, and joy erupts. Exams end, they snap pics. In a room, Lei and Keishi share a kiss, a happy ending. Rating 8/10. It's a roller coaster of teen drama, rivalries, and redemption, though it drags with repetitive jealousy beats. Favorite scene: Lei rescuing Keishi from the lab fire. His shift from brash to brave is raw and real, cementing their bond. What's your rating and fave moment? Comment below, like, subscribe, share.